It's the beer video, and if you could have only seen the last 3 minutes of this video that you didn't get to see, you would see all the entertaining stuff that goes into putting together the beer video. Helen,
Yeah, like I tried to figure out my sound settings and it made me realize just how tech illiterate I really am. Well, I don't know. I mean, I refuse to learn how TikTok works, but I do know basic HTML, which apparently the kids these days do not. So,
yeah, it's funny you say that. I was just listening to a podcast the other day, and I can't remember which one it was, and they were talking about HTML. Like, do people still use that? And I think it might have been QAnon Anonymous, but yeah, but they were talking about that, and I just asked Jaden the other day because they're, going to school for IT related stuff. And I was like, hey, let me ask you a really dumb question that a dumb person's about to ask you. Do people still use DOS?
I feel like they're really going to have a leg up on a lot of people in the average IT department because I get the feeling they could talk to another human being without immediately acting like a salted slug.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, not to paint too much IT with a broad brush, like the IT guy at my job is charming and friendly, but I have dealt with my share of IT professionals where it was like they never really told you how to behave outside of your home, eh?
yeah, yeah. I used to sit in arguments between my old boss and the guy who was not running the IT department, but was running a section of it. And those conversations, I was just basically like the middleman in this whole thing, where it was like, you get it, you get what I'm saying, right? Like to me, and I'm just like, I don't understand what either one of you are talking about. But yeah,
And bring that scene in Hot Fuzz where like the one guy has to translate for the farmer and it's just gibberish.
yeah, that's basically what it was like, except I couldn't translate. I don't know. I don't know. It's been a it's been a long day, Helen. It's
Yeah,
I,
honestly.
I I feel like an asshole every time I say this to you, considering where you are. But it's very cold here. It snowed a lot, and
For finally, like Minnesota's been really unseasonably warm, like to the point like a lot of major winter sports events got canceled.
oh wow,
But we got our first decent snowfall of the winter like a couple days ago,
yeah.
and it was actually below freezing most of today. I stubbornly did not wear my winter boots though, because it's always such, you know, um, thing I have to balance because my winter boots are very nice and warm, but they're also like one of the ugliest things I own. So I hate looking, and I hate wearing them out of the house. So I tend to not do that until I absolutely have to. Like,
Yeah. I
yeah.
I had to walk Brody twice today because she's got border collie energy, and yeah, I was out in boots that aren't great for walking for 45 minutes, you know? And so by the time I got back, my calf was sore, and I didn't hurt it or anything. It was just from wearing these boots and walking in boots that really aren't meant for walking for 45 minutes with a dog. Uh, oh
Oh,
well.
by the way, you can get this like sealing wax that's like for regular boots in winter. It's like some kind of beeswax treatment, and you just like rub that into your boots and like kind of heat treat it to let it soak in. And that protects them against like salt and slush and what have you.
No, I
I
didn't
mean,
know about this.
it doesn't make them any warmer, but
Sure.
it'll stop them from being damaged by winter. So I did that on like a couple pairs of my boots, and those are the
Cool.
ones I when I'm not forced to wear my insulated ones. So
Yeah.
that's something to consider. I don't know. It's like $10 a jar. So, and there's a lot of it. So it's a,
Send me, you don't have to send me a link, but just message me what that's called. I'm gonna look it up.
yes, there's a couple ways you can do it, but I picked the one that most people seem to like. Anyway, you remember who, because I don't.
So you went first last week. How do I know this? Because the sticky note's down.
There you go.
Helen, I didn't even clue you into this. Usually like when one of us have a really stupid beer, we'll let each other know. I've just figured, she'll find out on the video. I have one of the stupidest beers I have ever done, but
But let's do it.
also an awesome one. It is it's a smoothie sour ale called Blue Milk. And anybody who is a fan of the Star Wars franchise knows what the fuck I'm talking about. The crazy blue milk that Luke and his family drink on Tatooine. But anyway, this is a smoothie sour ale with blue raspberry, coconut cream, and vanilla ice cream. It's from Magnify Brewing. I do not know where they're located. Fairfield, New Jersey. And this is 5% alcohol by volume. And of course, we're going to drink out of a Return of the Jedi glass. I realize it's not the proper picture for blue milk, but who cares? I'm also a little nervous about this because I really don't want it to look like blue milk. But
I mean, yeah, so I feel like I have to pull
oh,
I'm possibly a bigger Star Wars fan than you card. I'm not probably, but anyone everyone can see my wrist tattoo,
oh
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. This does look like blue milk. This is terrifying.
Yeah.
I do have the Death Star here, so blood up.
Oh, okay, well,
There you go.
we're even, I think. Or possibly you're more of one than me. I will say this has gotten me
What a
called brown
conversation.
down by at least two security guards at music venues here.
There it is.
Jesus Christ, that does look like blue milk. Oh no. Oh
It's
no.
not a lie. It is. Uh-oh. All right, I gotta do this.
Remember when everyone got really salty about like them showing the origin of blue milk in last Last Jedi?
Yeah. Kind of.
I can't wait till it's 20 years from now and I stop having to hear people ranting about like how those are the worst Star Wars movies.
Yeah. Can I introduce you to one through three, please? Look, they were fine. When I saw them in the theater, I wasn't mad. The ending of the third one was, well, the ninth one technically was
Yeah,
ridiculous, but
I will agree Rise of Skywalker was the worst of them and was kind of a mess, but it's just like, well, I wish they'd had Ryan Johnson do that one too,
me
because like
too.
did some interesting things with The Last Jedi that I liked. And like I think like the way he set it up, like, the force can be used by anyone. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
um
I liked that movie a lot. The only part of that movie I didn't like was when they went to that weird casino planet because it just felt like this just feels thrown in.
I
But
got trying to do with it. But yeah, I agree. Like I don't think they really incorporated that well.
mm.
Um I don't know. I mean, at risk of like the worst men on YouTube, like coming for me, I
Oh,
guess.
come, please, come for us. I will
Uh,
fucking fight every single one of you.
like fuck you. I've been watching Star Wars movies since my dad was old enough to like show them to me.
Yes,
Like
me too.
one of my first formative memories. That's why I have this tattoo. This isn't part of a meal for my dad.
Yep.
Like rented that shit on VHS like at least once a week.
Mhm.
Um, like just hanging out with my dad watching the original trilogy is like one of my favorite things to remember from my childhood. It like was a formative influence and like I don't know, like I thought the sequels are fine mostly. Like and the worst part about Rise of Skywalker was the ways in which they capitulated all the people moaning on the internet about The Last Jedi.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
like it would have been a better movie if they'd collectively told all you people to fuck off.
It was the worst. It was the worst type of fan service because you were
Yeah.
serving the worst of the Star Wars fans.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the first sequel was pure fan service, but they did it kind of in a fun way. And like I think I will stand by my opinion that like they hired a good enough cast that kind of didn't care.
Mhm.
Uh God, I don't want to say anything terrible about Jake Lloyd because we all know what a bad time he had after the first prequel.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and it wasn't his fault, like, what, like he was a child.
As a
So
child.
like, and I know George Lucas told him to act like that,
Yeah.
but he's unwatchable
He's
in the
he's on it. Yeah.
and it's not his fault. Again, he was told to act in an unwatchable way, but like making Anakin that young, it's it was a shit decision. And like people being like, well, like the sequels aren't true to George's vision. It's like George's vision includes the first three films, which are amazing and untouchable.
Yeah.
It also includes midichlorians and Jar Jar. So
Yeah. Yep.
we went on a big Star Wars tangent. How's the fucking beer?
Oh, let me try it. Oh, it leaves a weird film.
Oh God, yeah, like milk-ish beer tends to do that.
Oh man.
Oh, that's not a promising face.
Hold on. Okay. There is something about this. I know there's lactose in it. Okay, so I get it. It's milkier than I want it to be. I know it's called blue milk. I get it. I'm the problem. But there's a strange bitterness that undercuts it that makes it taste like a cough syrup. You know that
Ooh.
back in the throat that you get when you take cough syrup?
Oh
That's
yeah, sick this past week, so I'm very familiar, unfortunately.
yeah.
Um,
It's
yeah, I that lactose beers with like one major exception. There's one like lactose IPA from a brewery around here that I really like, but generally they leave this kind of nastily tongue coating like feel, and
this one doesn't have that strangely. I'm getting a shit ton of blue raspberry. I mean, for sure. Now that I'm talking and I can kind of taste it, now that it's still in the back of my throat, like um, there's a ton of blue raspberry in this, which is fine. I mean, that's the primary flavor. Coconut cream. I'm assuming if they're talking about cream from the coconut, like that's kind of flavorless anyway, or is it supposed to? I don't know. Vanilla ice cream. I guess that's the milk. It's also not very sour.
yeah, I find a lot of sours are just kind of dessert beers or beers that want to be cocktails, and they have like maybe a slight tanginess to them, but not really. Um, when I was picking out today's beer, I kind of noticed that like there was like a wall of it was mostly like sours like that where it was like based on some kind of well-known pastry or dessert. Like
Yeah.
I saw like a blue raspberry slush puffy sour, and it's like I don't know about all that. Probably tastes similar to that.
I'm gonna say part of this, I think, is a little bit psychological on my end. Because, like, again, I just probably gonna people like it's a smoothie sour ale. There's lactose in it, asshole. Of course, it's milky. I get that. It's not. I don't like it. It's definitely not for me. There's a barrier there that I can't get beyond, and it's the cough medicine taste with the milky consistency. Um, no, sir, don't like it. But I strangely want to keep sipping it. That's the fucking weird part.
Well, you want to give a beer a fair shot, right?
I do. Yeah, it's not for me. It's a cool concept. Look, it looks like blue milk. That's fucking pretty crazy. Um,
One of those things where it's like, I guess that a little bit, I really think that would be better as a cocktail and not a beer.
it might be. Yeah, yeah. It very well might be. This is not, I can't imagine drinking this entire can. I can't imagine it. And I won't, so it's not going to happen. But yeah, I think you might be right. I think it might be a better cocktail idea. Just as a beer, I mean, I give it credit for being unique. For sure it is. And, for what it looks like, I mean, they nailed it. I just don't think it tastes, it's not appealing to me taste wise. And that cough medicine attacking me right in the back of the throat, not my favorite thing in the world. So, yeah, I'll try more stuff from Magnify Brewing. Like it's nothing against them.
Sure.
Just not this one.
Sounds like a high concept beer that,
Yeah,
maybe didn't quite make it to drinkability.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Misa not going to drink this beer anymore.
Yeah. Ooh, I think that's the meanest thing you've said about a beer, apart from that one Deschutes pickle one that you hated.
That was the worst. I mean, that was just pure garbage. This is not pure garbage. I'm not saying that. I'm sure there's going to be, well, I like the pickle beer too. I know there are people that like the pickle beer, but yeah,
Well,
I like this.
I like that Oliphant pickle beer, and you razzed me for that one.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, so a brief shirt note. This is a Cerebral Rot shirt I bought when I saw them on tour. It has a hilariously bad font choice on the back. I'm just going to turn around so you can see it. Can you see
Sit down a little bit because like I can't. Oh, okay, now I can see it. Yeah, yep, yep.
it?
That's a weird one.
Yeah, graphic design is their passion. Yeah, no, good band. Really liked watching them. Uh, and their latest album was very good, very
I like
gross.
their I like their logo too. I mean, I know that it's not the most unique logo of all time, but I like it, and I always know when it's Cerebral Rot, which is,
Yeah,
that's readability. It helps.
it does sometimes.
Uh,
Oh,
I'm wearing a Thor's Hammer long sleeve. That there you go. And there's on the back just has that little, if you can see it on the bottom. Um, Southern Lord put these out either last year or the year before when they reissued their album. So it's also very comfortable and it's roomy, which I like. Because I don't know, I don't like when long sleeves stick to me. I have a weird body, so I don't know. Long sleeves fit me very strangely, but this one doesn't. I like it, and I'm gonna keep wearing it. And it's blue. Like the top part of it's sort of like that blue gray, which matches the blue milk.
there you go. Yeah, isn't that lady, that singer, like a scientist of some sort?
Yeah, now, yeah. Because I don't know if she does music anymore. But yeah, she's
She was with she did a reunion thing with Thor's Hammer, but yeah, she's like some kind of, I don't know what field
I
she
can't
actually.
remember.
I mean, some people can make it work. Um,
Yeah.
Lady from Psy is a
Oh
fit,
yeah.
I want to say.
She's a biologist.
Yeah, I don't know. I know she goes to like like academic conferences because I follow her on Instagram, so she'll post like pictures of like her kids who are very cute, like her hanging out with her colleagues at like science conferences and like Psy playing shows where she's in a kimono covered in blood. It's
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah. You can.
Very Instagram feed. Recommend it.
I'm gonna look up Thor's Hammer while you're doing this to try to figure out what she does now.
Okay, so I am doing a much more straightforward beer. This is from Maine Beer Company. That is just the name of the brewery.
Oh, we
It's
get
the
that here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Woods and Waters India Pale Ale.
Yeah. I kind of like the simplicity of their labels.
Yeah, so they brewed this special IPA to commemorate the establishment of the Katahdin Woods and Waters National Monument. Mount Katahdin is the tallest mountain in Maine. FYI, it's in central Maine. It's part of Acadia National Park, which, if you've ever been a tourist in Maine, you may have gone to. It's kind of
I
it's
don't remember. I've been to Maine, but I don't remember if I went there. I know I went hiking, but I don't remember if we went there.
Yeah, this incorporates Maine-grown barley and wheat, along with generous amounts of hops with notes and aromas of pine and citrus reminiscent of the outdoors. Cheers to Mother Nature and all she provides us. Oh,
That's right.
okay,
Oh,
just
so Runhild is a professional biologist and holds a PhD in cell physiology.
oh hell yeah, good for her.
And if you look her up, she looks very professional.
Good for her.
Mhm.
Head on this one, kind of a light straw color. Kind of a refreshing smell. Mm, that's very nice.
I wasn't sure where you were going, so I'm happy that you're enjoying it.
I've had a lot of really thick, hazy IPAs. And this one is like not lighter, but I guess it's like 6% alcohol by volume. So it's kind
Yeah.
of in the regular IPA, but it's not super bold. It's kind of a nice balance of the pine and the citrus flavors, I would say. There's a weird little bit of sweetness to it. I can't quite figure out. It tastes almost like honey.
Hmm. I wasn't talking there for a second because I'm fighting back a burp after this goddamn blue milk.
Yeah, I've had a fair amount of gimmick beers and some I have even liked quite a bit, but like sometimes you just want the good old Bavarian Purity Act sort of
Yeah.
shit, you know?
Yeah.
And pouring the rest of this very
Whoa, look
badly.
at that. Whoa. The head just kind of burst from
I,
the middle of the
yeah, I
glass.
poured like garbage and even then, like not my bad, but that's okay.
I was so
Um,
worried that was coming out of the glass.
but yeah, it was kind of funny seeing this like on the shelf, like and the other Maine Brewing Company IPA, which I may feature next week, because it's got kind of a adorable backstory.
Yeah.
I will not spoil it. Um, but yeah, like it was just like this on the shelf next to like all these like fucked up concept sours.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like okay, like I understand experimenting like that, like it can be fun, but sometimes I just want beer. I want a beer that tastes like a beer.
Yeah. That's understandable. I have a really nice barley wine that I am setting up for later because obviously I'm not drinking any more of this.
Mm. Yeah. And some places do flavored beers better than others. I feel like I harp on Hammerheart quite a bit here, but like their pumpkin stout, you know how most breweries do them and they just taste like a fucked up alcoholic pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
No, this genuinely like tasted like a beer with pumpkin. Like and they smoked pumpkin like in the backyard of their brew house. So
Yeah.
that was cool. God. Hammerheart, come back to me.
That's kind of what oh okay, so Magnify pretty much just does sours because I'm looking them up now. Um anyway, Dogfish Head's Pumpkin Ale is kind of like that. Like it's a beer. It's just a beer. And so it's more like they're using the flesh of the pumpkin in the beer, but it's not spiced, like it's not a mouthful of nutmeg. Um, they do well, at least at their brew pub, they would offer they would do the beer through they have a system called a Randall that can add flavoring or different things to the beer. And they did one that I think was some sort of cinnamon. And so they added that to it. So you could get the regular pumpkin ale or you could get it through the Randall that had the cinnamon. I tried both and honestly they were both good. Like because this it wasn't so much cinnamon that it, bombed your taste buds. It was just enough, like to give it just a little bit of flavoring. But I don't know if they do that anymore. I don't know. But yeah, theirs was just, I don't know,
Yeah,
normal pumpkin beer.
out today. I don't know if it has any other flavors, but and I've been trying to find it in six packs and I can't. The Raise the Dawn stout. I just know that that is kind of one of those heavy chewable stouts that also it has like just a shit ton of cinnamon
Yeah.
and actually is a flavor combination I really like. Like
Yeah.
a lot of flavored beers strike me as too gimmicky, but like cinnamon and stouts and like that makes sense. Like cinnamon and dark dense beers. Sure. I almost got a cinnamon stout for the video actually, but I decided I would rather go with something unflavored.
I just looked up Raise the Dawn. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen this around here, but if I ever do, I'm gonna grab it to
I have only ever seen it on the tap menu at the place where I go get a sandwich every week. So,
I
um,
like a weekly sandwich. Speaking of
yeah.
weekly sandwiches, Chipotle fucked me tonight.
Well, your first problem with going to Chipotle.
I just wanted a quick burrito because I was driving, I was out a lot today because I had to do things. I'm driving back and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna order from Chipotle. So Christina orders Chipotle for me, and we were going to Target because I was getting Brody another soccer ball because she bit a hole in one of them. Um,
Or she did.
yeah. And so I go into Chipotle, and first of all, they were 15 minutes late with my order. And so I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And so I get my order and we go home and I take it out. It's nowhere near what I ordered. Not even close. It was some sort of thing with steak. I cannot eat beef, so it's like I couldn't even make do with it. Like they could not have screwed it up worse. So Chipotle, dead
Did
to me.
they get someone else's?
They
They
must,
probably
but I mean the person who came over to because I was standing by like there's a shelf of like where you're supposed to be waiting for the online orders, and I'm standing there like a dickhead. And so finally somebody who works there comes over and asks, like, do I need help? And I was like, yeah, I'm just waiting for an online order. So we went, I showed him the order on the phone, showed him my name, like he brought it out, showed me my name, like that's my name. But not even close. Not even close. So thanks a
mm,
lot.
some kind of assembly line fuck up, I assume.
I mean,
God.
you made the complete wrong thing. It'd be like ordering a beer and getting a milkshake.
Someone grabbed the wrong bowl, I assume. I don't know. I tend to be pretty forgiving with fast food employees because it's like, ah, you're 15, you're getting paid $3 an hour or whatever the fuck it is.
Nobody
You
there
probably
was 15. Everybody there was way older than 15. Whatever. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna, you know, throw things through their windows. I mean, it's whatever. They fucked
no.
up.
Yeah, I guess the only experience I have with online ordering is the one banh mi place around here. That's like, I guess, kind of a local chain.
Yeah.
Um, and it's all like it's all surly teenagers, but like, I appreciate that on a level because like we're just gonna you are going to ask my name. You're gonna grab my bag with my sandwich. You're gonna hand me my sandwich. That's the end of our exchange. You're not
Yep.
gonna ask me how I'm doing today. I am not gonna offer that.
Yeah.
That is the totality of our experience. When I buy produce at the Asian grocery, it's a lot like that too, because like the cashiers there are just what I assume are the owner's surly granddaughters.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's right. Go back to looking at TikTok. Like I'm just gonna buy these chocolate wafers and this bunch of greens. And the most interaction I've ever had with anyone there is they said my knuckle tattoos look nice, which was
Oh,
like,
that's not nothing.
if you yank yourself out of your surly cashier coma long enough to notice and compliment me, that is a huge thing. And I'm very grateful.
You're in with the teenagers. You're in with the Asian teenagers. Helen.
Cool.
Yeah, you've leveled up. I wouldn't, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Anytime anybody who's not a white person compliments me, I'm like, I must be doing something right then because, it's a non-white. So they must know what they're talking about because we don't most of the time.
Strange thing to say, Brian, but certainly in some circumstances warranted. Matt was saying that an Asian granny where he works complimented him on his rice cooking, and that's an achievement, I
Oh, yeah,
think.
because there's some real actual knowledge there, and yeah, yeah, you can't beat that.
Mm, yeah.
All right, everybody, I gotta go wash my mouth out because I it tastes like cough medicine, and I'm not happy about that. We're gonna try again next week. We'll see what happens. But for me, for Helen, for Sauron the cat, for Brody the dog, we bid you adieu. Helen, anything else?
Um, let's see. Oh, so my friend sent me a photo of Ted Cruz photoshopped to have long hair, and that kind of fucked my.
Can you please send that to me?
Yes, I will.
Oh, well, we're gonna leave you with that. We get to see it and you don't. Maybe we'll show it next week. Maybe we won't. Uh, eh.